Good evening. It's the 19th Annual Maple Blues Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for the evening from the CBC, Gill Deacon.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, this is such an incredible stage to be on, and such an incredible way to kick off the night. So great to have you all here in the exquisite Koerner Hall. Some of you have been here before, probably know what a great night we're in for. I know we're in for a really good evening. A couple of years ago, I interviewed and met Maple Blues Band's musical director, Gary Kendall. We talked about this great night on the radio show that I host on CBC Radio, Here and Now, on CBC Radio 1. And Gary was the one who first told me what an incredible night this is. So I'm really thrilled to be part of it tonight. Since then, I've become increasingly aware of not only the Maple Blues Awards, but all the other incredible events that are organized by the Toronto Blues Society. So it's a great pleasure, as I say, to be here and now with you on the program tonight. This is, I should say, a new era of truth and reconciliation with the Indigenous people in Canada, and in that spirit I do want to recognize that tonight's show is taking place on the ancestral territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. So let's acknowledge, express our appreciation. Without their invitation generations ago, we wouldn't be here tonight. The Toronto Blues Society initiated the Maple Blues Awards in 1997, which makes this the 19th edition, Canada's preeminent National Blues Awards program. Pretty straightforward goals. Number one, to promote Canadian blues music and artists. And number two, to recognize outstanding achievement in the blues. And that's what we're going to do over the next couple of hours, about 2.5 hours. You're in for some incredible performances by 6 guest artists who will grace this stage tonight. They're all at the top of their game. We're going to find out who will take home those 17 trophies up for grabs tonight. There'll be a few surprises, a few upsets. It wouldn't be a good awards ceremony without that. There will be some tears, perhaps, hopefully tears of joy. And are you ready? Are we going to do this? Are we ready to get started? All right. Let me hand over the microphones to the first presenters for the awards tonight. They're all ready to go. Leanne Stanton is a member of Ottawa's award-winning Wicked Grin. She is nominated tonight in the category Bassist of the Year. Joining her is Samantha Martin, the leader of Delta Sugar. She's nominated in 4 categories tonight, so she's maybe going to be hopping up here a lot. Right now, welcome them to the stage. Leanne and Samantha, let's let the awards begin.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Ooh, as
Yes.
my dad said, all I wanted was a little recognition.
Yeah. Just don't have a Janet Jackson wardrobe thing, okay?
I'll do my best. If anybody lets me know if I'm showing a little nip.
I'm a bit nervous about the dress, but here we go.
All right.
Okay. So I admire blues artists for the magic they create within a well-defined musical form. For blues guitar players, the rule is simple. Less is often more. Of course, breaking the rules is sometimes how you get yourself noticed. And all of the 2015 nominees for Guitarist of the Year have broken a rule or two getting here tonight.
Sponsored by Long & McQuaid Musical Instruments, the nominees for the Guitarist of the Year are Brandon Isaac, David GOGO, John CAMPBELLJOHN, Michael Jerome Brown, Steve Hill.
So the Maple
Drum roll,
Blues,
please.
yes, the Maple Blues Award for Guitarist of the Year goes to Steve Hill.
This is awesome. I want to thank the Toronto Blues Society, Gibson guitars, Fender amps, every guitar player I've stolen licks from Robert Johnson to David GOGO. I don't know what to say. It's been a great year, and it seems like 2016 is going to be a great year too. Thanks to Sarah French, thanks to Todd Littlefield, and thanks to the fans. I love you all.
False alarm.
False alarm. Don't get off the stage.
All right.
Don't get off the stage.
So great horn sections can add a little spice to an already amazing arrangement. A talented horn soloist can make the difference between just another blues song and a truly moving experience. In this band tonight, and there's a little bit of a rumor going around that the horn players are getting a little action, like the last time at band camp. Just kidding. So this year's
nominees for Horn Player of the Year
listen
are
to that guy.
Al Lerman, Chris Whiteley, Frank Tifo, John Wong, Richard Thornton.
And the winner, the Horn Player of the Year, is Johnny Wong. Now accepting on behalf of John Wong is Chris Whiteley.
How about Pat Carey on the sax, speaking of horn players? Yeah. Well, I just want to say on behalf of John Wong, he's a very deserving winner of this award. He's a wonderful sax player. He's in St. Petersburg, Florida tonight playing with his band, and he asked me to thank the Toronto Blues Society and to thank all of the people who play the music on the radio and through the media, and all of the fans who come to the gigs. And he wanted also to not forget to thank his bandmates, Mike and Lindsay, Jesse and Mark. So on behalf of John Wong, I'm sure he would want to thank you very much.
Our first guest performer tonight has released 14 recordings since his self-titled debut in 1994. His newest is Vicksburg Call, released in 2015. Nominated in 3 categories tonight, including Entertainer of the Year. Please welcome, from beautiful British Columbia, David GOGO.
And it doesn't work. Uh-oh. Not plugged in. There you go. That's why I didn't win Guitarist of the Year, because I can't even plug the goddamn thing in. Right, on a pick.
It's a live show.
Ready, boys? We ready. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
I ain't fooling with me, baby. I haven't just been fooling myself. I ain't fooling with me, baby. I haven't just been fooling myself. Let me come and change your mind, or please find someone else. Lord, now once there was a time you didn't want nobody but me. Yes, now once there was a time you didn't want nobody but gonna change your mind, mama. Please just let me be. Change your mind, mom, please just let me be. Let me be, baby. I've just been fooling myself. Are you fooling with me, baby? Have I just been fooling myself? Baby, come and change your mind, or I go and find someone else. Lord, if you come and change your mind, well, I'll go and find someone else. If you're gonna change your mind, well, I'll go and find someone else.
David GOGO, ladies and gentlemen. How's that? And the roof is holding steady. All right, so anybody been wondering how this all happens, how an artist gets nominated for a Maple Blues Award, how the winners are selected? If you have been wondering about that, I'm going to tell you. Canada's National Blues Program, the Maple Blues Awards, is presented, as I mentioned, by the Toronto Blues Society and supported through the participation of blues societies right across the country. This year, a panel of 43 blues experts selected the nominees. They're coordinated by a national steering committee consisting of Terry Parsons, Yves Trottier, John Valentine, and Brant Zwicker. And the panel includes radio hosts, journalists, and festival organizers, regionally distributed right across Canada. Panel members are not eligible for any of the awards, and the panelists' names, if you want to look at them all, are found in your program tonight. We should say very special thanks to Yves Trottier for translating all of the Maple Blues Award communications into French for the Francophone panel members. So the nominating panel determines winners in the instrumental categories. All the other categories are decided on by public vote. And voting for the Maple Blues Awards is open to all Canadians. So the winners here tonight really are reflected, the voice of the whole country is reflected in the choices. The voting is conducted online. It's verified to ensure the integrity and security of the voting process. This year, over 4,700 blues fans had their say, which is an increase of more than 500 from last year. So special thanks to Michael Ellis of the law firm Will Davidson LLP, who supervised the final vote in the instrumental categories. Also special thanks to Warren Sampson and KMP Designs for their expert services in the design and the support of the online public voting. So there, all your questions answered. Now you know that is the process of how voting and nominations work at the Maple Blues Awards. All right, our next presenters, moving it right along, David Vest and Angel Forrest, each of them Maple Blues Awards winners. They're both nominated again tonight. Please give a lively welcome to David and Angel.
Just met backstage, but it turns out we're going to be spending a week together in May.
Yeah, my wife's going to take your vocal group at Hornby Blues Camp.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Very nice. I heard there's 10 men and 2 women, and one of them is your wife. That's cool.
Well,
you didn't get that. It's okay.
as Canada's oldest living promising young pianist, I'm very much aware that finding and growing an audience is the big challenge that we blues artists face year after year. Each nominee for Entertainer of the Year is figuring out ways to meet this challenge. They're using great song selection, strong stage presence, and musical honesty, mastery of social media to reach new fans. These are artists who are at the top of their game.
Sponsored by the Oakville Center for the Performing Arts, the nominees for Entertainer of the Year are the 24th Street Wailers, David GOGO, Monkey Jump, Steve Hill, Harrison Kennedy.
And the Entertainer of the Year is Steve Hill.
Thank you so much. 2 years in a row, this is amazing. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd win this and that I would be a one-man band playing drums and guitar and all that, I wouldn't have believed you. I want to thank my road crew, Phil, Dan, Matt, Oliver, Outside Distribution, my girlfriend, COLIN, for putting up with me and the insanity. Obviously, all of you guys. The great thing about this is that I finally got a gig in Toronto. It's been years I couldn't get a gig. And I'm playing at Hughes Room in March, and I got a new album coming out, so hope I'll see you guys there. Thank you.
Stay with me this time, okay. Whew. You know, I'd like to say that not so long ago, I was a new artist, but I've been plugging away for years, much like these nominees tonight for Best New Artist. You're working hard, you're practicing your art, but this is the first time they're actually nominated for Best New Artist. I've learned after the last couple of years that winning one of these awards, sorry, I'm a little verklempt right now. It is very special, and the fact is that it's like being discovered because you're all of a sudden, the rest of Canada knows you. All I can say is God bless the MBAs, and congratulations to all the nominees. Your life's gonna change.
The nominees for New Artist or Group of the Year, sponsored by RBC Royal Bank Blues Fest, are CECILE DOO-KINGUE, Jenny Tai, Kirby Soul Band, Samantha Martin and Delta Sugar. Sugar Brown.
And the winner is, for Best New Artist, the Kirby Sewell Band.
Wow. I just have to thank the Toronto Blues Society first for what they do, and being from Western Canada means a lot, to be out here. I have to thank, the early believers like Larry Kurtz at the Orangeville, and Lance Andersen from Aurelia, and the Beaches International Jazz Festival. I could go on and on and on. All the people that brought us out here to play to you wonderful folks. And I have to thank my band, working hard for 7 years and doing this to get this award is a beautiful thing. And Dog FM and CBC, and Stingray, all the people that play our music. Thank you so much.
Up next, a unique presentation. This is the one award that actually, of the whole show, that doesn't involve any public voting or input from the Maple Blues Awards nominating committee. This is called the Blues Booster Award, and it was established by the Toronto Blues Society to highlight and to congratulate behind-the-scenes individuals who are making notable contributions to the Canadian blues community. It's the Toronto Blues Society's Board of Directors who each year selects the recipient of the Blues Booster Award, say that 10 times fast, to present the award to this year's Blues Booster. Please welcome the president of the Toronto Blues Society, Derek Andrews, and also Andrew Galloway, owner of Electrify Records.
It is traditional to acknowledge the band many, many times because they are so fabulous. How about that band?
What a band! What a band! What a band!
The Blues Society is going to get thanked a lot too, and we appreciate all that. But this is a national event. I want to ad-lib a couple of remarks because I get to do that. I want to welcome the people who've traveled so far away to join us tonight. In particular, the new executive director of the Blues Foundation, Barbara Newman, is here from Memphis. Welcome, Barbara. And the other thing I wanted to do was just kind of acknowledge the incredible staff and volunteers and team, the board, all the people who've worked on this event. You would not believe the number of emails I have received because they copy me on everything, which is what I demand. But it's a fantastic night, and they do a lot of work. So big thank you to the whole team of people working on this event. The Blues Society created the Booster Award in an effort to recognize and congratulate individuals making notable contributions to the Canadian blues community. The Blues Society's Board of Directors selected Larry Kurtz as the recipient of the Blues Booster for this year.
Yeah, Larry, all right. Larry is a stalwart contributor to Canada's blues community. He's the founder and artistic director of the Orangeville Blues and Jazz Festival. From a humble origin in 2003, the festival now boasts a lineup of local and nationally recognized musicians, approximately 95% of which are Canadian artists.
This has been a long time coming for you, Larry. This award has been announced. We issued a press release. In 2015, the festival hosted its largest audience yet, 35,000 visitors over 4 days. It's no surprise. Festival Events Ontario, the provincial, sorry about that, organization ranked Orangeville Jazz and Blues in its top 100 festivals in Ontario.
All right. Wow. And let's not forget that in his spare time, he's an ace harmonica player who's featured front and center in his band, Larry Kurtz and the Lawbreakers, as well as many duo combos with various musicians. Plus, he continues to co-front the award-winning Trouble and Strife with his musical partner, Bruce Lay.
Video.
Larry.
That's okay. Thank you.
You got the mic.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right, first of all, I'd like to thank the Toronto Blues Society. They do fantastic work, not just in Toronto, but all over this great country, promoting us from coast to coast. So big hand to the Toronto Blues Society. I want to say a big thank you to Canadian blues musicians. You guys know who you are. You're really my musical heroes, all of you. I'd like to thank the Blues Societies, festivals, radio hosts, record labels, writers, photographers, promoters. All you guys are doing what we do. We're boosting the blues, right? All of us together. Yeah. I'd like to thank my wife, Norma, who is always with me in this 100%. I knew when I met her she was the one for me because she had Buddy Guy and Taj Mahal records. And it goes both ways because when she met me, I had a Sarah McLachlan record, right? So I'd like to thank the people who are involved with Orangeville Blues and Jazz. We have over 160 volunteers, including our board of directors, who really work hard. Our festival charges no admission, so it's all free and welcome to everybody. We're really proud of that fact. And the people of Orangeville we're going into year 14 this year, have really embraced the festival and helped it grow. My father, Alan, is here in the audience tonight. Just give my dad a hand, yeah. I'm also very proud of the fact that my own children know who Jack de Kaiser and Fathead and Downchild are. So I really didn't grow up with the blues. I'm the oldest child in the family. I didn't have an older brother or sister to let me know what was happening. And I grew up in Brampton. In fact, on my street, I lived on the same street as the Blackburn family. The very same street. And I had no clue that Bobby Dean Blackburn was this amazing musician, and all his sons would grow up to be these fantastic musicians. So it really came to me slowly. I kind of discovered it. I used to listen to rock radio like a lot of you. Q107 used to play this 501 Blues. Does anybody remember that? Sponsored by Levi's. And I remember hearing Little Walter on the radio. I had no clue who he was. And I heard that harmonica sound, and something just clicked and always drew me into the blues. So years later, we've really got it happening now. Although he's not out on stage right now, I just want to give a special thank you to one of my musical mentors, Al Lehrman. Yeah. I went to Al's house for about 5 years steady, taking harmonica lessons with him, and he's one of the most soulful and inspirational musicians in this country, so I'm really happy that I got to spend some time with him. I really do feel like a lucky guy to live in this great country of Canada. And we have some of the finest musicians in the world. And I get to invite them to come and play in my town. So how great is that? So people always say we need to keep the blues alive. But I say we don't need to keep the blues alive. It is alive. And it's well. And it's growing and it's thriving. And all of us are living the blues in our own way right now. So give yourselves a big hand. And finally, in conclusion, I just want to personally invite all of you to come to Orangeville the first weekend in June. We'll see you there. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm so excited for this. COLIN LINDEN is a very busy man. As you know, he is a member of the trio Blackie and the Rodeo Kings. He's an in-demand record producer. He's the musical director on the hit TV show Nashville. He's guitarist, sideman for, I don't know, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, just to name a few, in all his spare time. On top of that, he does manage to find time for his solo career as a singer-songwriter. In 2015, he released his 10th studio recording titled Rich in Love. Here to perform the title track from Nashville, please welcome home COLIN LINDEN.
Thank you so very much, everybody. It's really, really fantastic to be here, to see so many. Woo! Remember 1.6? It's really great.
My baby used to cry, cry, cry while I lay sleeping. Now I'm going down, down, down to find some healing. I'm gonna find out what my baby's been dreaming. She used to run, she used to fly, her wings got tired, I don't know why. I got no money, I was rich at home, rich in love. My baby used to cry, cry, cry while I lay sleeping. Now I'm going down, down, down to find some healing. I'm gonna find out song was mine when I hear her moan. Deep in the night, she leaves me cold. I'm just a fool. My baby used to cry, cry, cry while I lay sleeping. Now I'm going down, down, down to find some healing. I'm gonna find out what my baby's been dreaming. Nobody but you, babe. No one but you. There's never been nobody but you. Nobody but you, babe. No one but you. There'll never be nobody but you. Thank you so much, everybody.
That just happened. I feel silly to ask if you're having a good time. Anybody here for the first time tonight? Kind of getting the hang of this? Won't be your last time? I didn't think so. Did you know that the fun hasn't even started yet? After the awards are handed out, after we're done here, that is when the real fun begins. So I'm told, I'm a first-timer here myself, Winnipeg's Big Dave McLean, joined by the Sinners Choir, is actually going to be hosting the post-awards show Jam, featuring many of tonight's nominees and winners. So pace yourself, people. The night is still young. All right, onward, moving it along. She was born and raised in New York City, first generation from Cameroon, lived in France and is now an adopted Montrealer. He is a broadcaster and producer who owns Stony Plain Records, which celebrated its 40th anniversary last year in 2015. Say hello to CECILE, DOO-KINGUE, and Holger Peterson.
Well, it's a real pleasure for me to be here, especially to be in the company of CECILE, who I saw a couple of times last summer at a few festivals. And what a treat you are, and what a great record you just released. So.
Oh, thank you. I won't lie, you kind of make me want to switch teams, Holger. Sarah French actually teases me about having a crush on you, and it's kind of true.
All right. Levon Helm.
Levon Helm once said about drumming that drums just always sounded like the most fun part of any good music for me. And it's why I started playing the drums. Tonight's nominees are all fabulous drummers. And they have shuffles that can drive any part of a band, especially the fun part. So it's my pleasure to present the Drummer of the Year.
Sponsored by LCM Project Management, the nominees for Drummer of the Year are Chris Nordquist, Dave King, Lindsay Beaver, Matt Saub, Tom Bona.
Sorry, I was caught up in the moment. All right, Tom Bona is the winner of the Drummer of the Year. Please welcome. We'll make sure Tom gets this. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this award. You know, first off, I want to thank my family for their love and support. What a great year it's been. Crossing the country with Life, Death and the Blues, shows with the Powder Blues, Soul Stack got to Europe. We released a couple of new recordings. Lots of great things coming up this year. You guys have a great night tonight. Wish I could be there. Thanks so much. See you soon.
So it's no secret I love working with the rhythm section because I think well, I don't think they are the power behind the groove. The true power behind the groove is the rhythm section. And I use them as a secret weapon to make friends with new audiences because they're the ones who make you want to shake your moneymaker. You know what I'm saying? So the bass players, they're the trump card because they're the ones who actually control the way you want to sway your hips, right? So it starts in your ears and then it makes its way down to your heart and then it goes all the way down to your feet and it sure the hell hits low, nice and hard below the belt with that big bottom. I mean, bass players are power for real. And all the nominees tonight know exactly what I'm talking about, so give it up for them.
Tonight's nominees for Bassist of the Year, sponsored by Trainer Amps, are Alan Duffy, Alec Fraser, Keith Pico, Leanne Stanton, Owen.
All right, let's see if I can avoid being Steve Harvey. And the bassist of the year is Leanne Stanton. Yeah, baby.
What an introduction. I mean, what do you say after that? Wow. So it was a total thrill when I was nominated along with all these other fabulous players, and standing here right now, my mind is totally blown. So thank you very much, especially to the Toronto Blues Society for arranging this. I want to thank my fellow Wicked Grinners, Liam Melville and Rod Williams. It's such a joy to play with talent like theirs. Absolutely, absolutely. I want to thank everybody that's stood behind me and beside me and encouraged me on this crazy journey. My mom, who's no longer with us, but she's still with us. My best friend, Brenda Murray, who's in the audience tonight. And the Ottawa Blues Society, especially Liz and Vicky, you folks are really just superb in terms of keeping the blues going and helping us all in Ottawa to get really interesting places like this. And I owe so much to Murray Kinsley, and without you, none of this would have been possible. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
2015 was a year, thank you, that brought us a number of blues highlights. The induction of Eric Clapton, Little Richard, and Tommy Brown into the Blues Hall of Fame. Quebec's Steve Hill took home the 2015 Juno Award for Blues Album of the Year after cleaning up here at the Maple Blues Awards last January. A glance at the lineup for the 32nd International Blues Challenge next week reveals that Canadians Charlie Accord, Graham Guest, Johnny Max, Kim Doolittle, and Paul Delorier, to name just a few, are heading to Memphis to represent the best of what we have to offer. So with any year, there are highlights such as those, and then there are the lowlights, some really sad moments. In 2015, we lost so many members of the International Blues family. Let's remember Wendell Holmes and Popsy Dixon of the Holmes Brothers, Ben Colley of the Barkays, Smokin' Joe Kubek, Alan Toussaint, and pioneering blues historian Sam Charters, to name just a few. 2015 was also, of course, the year that the world lost its king of the blues, Riley Blues Boy King. There's really no way to summarize the loss of B.B. King in words. It's a bit of a cliche to say it, but I think everybody feels it, really and truly. The thrill is gone. And we too have had our moments of sadness in Canada. Tonight, our best wishes go out to Delana Gail Bowen in Vancouver, who suffered a stroke on Christmas Day. We also endured the loss of lots of good friends in 2015, and tonight's show is dedicated to the unique contribution that these artists made to our community. So let's watch this visual tribute to all those people. All right, presenting the next set of awards for us tonight are Barbara Newman, the new president and CEO of the Blues Foundation based in Memphis, and also Charlie Andrews, the new manager of outreach and development for the SOCAN Foundation. Over to you, Barbara and Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, do you know what today is?
It's Martin Luther King Day in the States.
So I found out today that it's actually Blue Monday, which is apparently the most depressing day. How ironic. It's not like that in Canada. We're here tonight.
And I couldn't be happier to be here. I'm finding that it might be chilly outside relative to what it is in Memphis, but the number of Canadians that I've met and the warmth that I've experienced, you would never know it's as cold outside as it is. It is a privilege to be here representing the Blues Foundation, and I'm honored that the Toronto Blues Society has asked me to be a presenter this evening. When this award show began 19 years ago, B.B. King won International Artist of the Year so often that the organizers decided to rename the category, adding his name in tribute to him. It is now the job of the nominated musicians to carry on his work as blues ambassadors to the world.
Sponsored by Mississippi Tourism, the nominees in the category of the B.B. King International Artist of the Year are Buddy Guy, Elvin Bishop, Eric Bibb, Mavis Staples, Sugar Ray Rayford.
And the winner of the B.B. King International Artist of the Year is, get this open, I know you're anticipating, Buddy Guy. I know everybody would love to have Buddy here to accept in person. Instead, I would like to be able to read to you an email that he sent to the Maple Blues Awards tonight for you. This is from Buddy. I would like to thank the Toronto Blues Society, all the folks at the Maple Blues Awards, and the people of Canada who've been so good to me over the years. The first time Junior Wells and I ever played for a huge festival-sized audience was in Canada. I'd never seen so many people in a crowd before. You all showed us all so much love, I will never forget it. Whenever I accept one of these honors, I do it for all the men and women who came before me, who never got the recognition they deserved. Before Buddy passed, I promised him I would keep these damn blues alive. Thank you for helping me keep that promise.
I'm here tonight on behalf of SOCAN, the Society of Composers, Authors, and Music Publishers of Canada. We recognize the challenges music creators face, especially in non-mainstream genres such as the blues. Canada is fortunate to have an abundance of blues artists contributing to the traditions of songwriting. Tonight's nominees in the category of Songwriter of the Year are great examples of this.
The nominees for Songwriter of the Year, sponsored by SOCAN, are Big Dave McLean, COLIN Linden, Harrison Kennedy, John CAMPBELLJOHN, Samantha Martin.
And the winner of Songwriter of the Year is COLIN LINDEN.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's so great to see so many of my friends, and I have family here tonight too. It's so great to hear people I've been playing with for so many years who I don't get to see very much anymore. Blues songwriters, I think, are the greatest songwriters you could ever imagine. Big Bill Broonzy, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Willie Dixon, Muddy Waters, Chester Burnett, Son House. You can go on and on and on. Gary Nicholson for modern songwriters, Bob Dylan. It's a tradition that's sometimes overlooked, but I would just want to encourage anybody out there who is writing songs and who comes from blues and has blues in their background to not be afraid to go anywhere it takes you, because if you are a blues artist, if it's in your heart, if it's the thing that's been given to you, no matter what comes out, it's going to be blues music. So I want to say that to every songwriter who's here. And mostly I want to thank my very favorite collaborator who wrote 3 of the songs on my new album with me and has been my collaborator in life for the last almost 33 years. Janice Marion Curry Alexander Powers, that's one person who is the greatest person I know. So thank you, everybody. Thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, just before we wrap up the first half of the show, let's hear for one more great artist. Nominated in 3 categories tonight, her latest release, Send the Nightingale, is garnering worldwide attention, not to mention her growing reputation for passionate live performances. And you're in for one of those now, here to rock your soul. Let's discover why people are addicted to Samantha Martin and Delta Sugar.
I say maple, you say blues, maple, maple. I say maple, you say blues, maple, maple. I say maple, you say blues, maple, maple. I say maple, you say blues, maple. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this band? I must have been. I must have been a fool, to think I could change. 'Cause here we go again. You got me spinning, and I'm addicted to your love, there. I see you there with her. You're trying to make me, lose my mind. Oh, and at the end of the day, you got me feeling, and I'm addicted to your love. Tell me why I can't resist your love. Oh, tell me why I'm always missing love, good loving in the middle of the day. You got me thinking, that Time to drink.
everybody to the second half of the Maple Blues Awards. Everybody having a good time so far? Yeah, okay. Let's bring her back out here doing a fine job tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sister Gill Deacon.
This is good. I like this. Although I was doing a little bit of research before I came to do this job today. You know, it's my first time hosting a blues awards show. So I did a little research about, you know, what you have to be a blues musician and be in the blues scene. And according to what I read, I am entirely unqualified for this job. I have all my teeth. This is what I read. I do drive a beat-up Ford, which I thought was a good thing. But it is a hybrid, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't count. All right. I know. Before we go any further, it is time to introduce these guys. Oh my goodness. Keeping this place on fire, just at a nice sizzling burn all night long. These fine musicians constitute the Maple Blues Band. They're all past winners of Maple Blues Awards. The bassist and the musical director is Mr. Gary Kendall. At the Hammond B3 and piano, it is Michael Fonfara. Next to him on lead guitar, Teddy Leonard. On drums and percussion and in the finest hat this evening, Mr. Jim Casson. On harmonica, tenor sax, and acoustic guitar, it's Al Lerman. To his left on tenor sax, Pat Carey. On the baritone sax, I'm told a very happy guy, Mr. Chris Murphy. And to round things out on trumpet and guitar, Chris Whiteley. Let's hear it for the great Maple Blues Awards Band. And as I mentioned earlier, lots more music when this part of the evening is over. I hope after the awards portion of the show that you will join Big Dave McLean and the Sooners Choir out in the lobby. After a few songs, Big Dave is going to be inviting tonight's nominees to join him for an all-star jam session. Oh yeah. All right, it is time to move things along. We've handed out 10 awards so far, only 9 more to go, 3 more performances. To misquote a Great Muddy Waters tune, we gotta move. 2015 was a watershed year for both Edmonton's keyboard sensation Jenny Tai and Toronto's sweetly named Sugar Brown. Each was nominated for New Artist of the Year. Let's hope 2016 produces more good news. For our next presenters, please say hello to Jenny and Sugar.
All right. Jenny Tai, how you doing? Coming all the way from Edmonton. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And welcome everyone to this fantastic evening of great blues, celebrating this wonderful music. I've been asked to present the award for Harmonica Player of the Year, and it's a great honor. And I thank again the Toronto Blues Society for asking me to be part of this. Harmonica is something I've myself loved for all the time I've been playing blues for about 20 years. It's a little tiny little thing, and it can still kill you, you know. It's we all have to fight the harmonica. We all have to love the harmonica. It can transport us to a different consciousness, especially if it's Little Walter. And we all know this. And we have amazing harmonica players featured tonight for the awards. And those people are...
Sponsored by Grassroots Advertising, the nominees for Harmonica Player of the Year are Guy Bélanger, Harp Dog Brown, Jerome Godby, Rolly Platt, Steve Mariner.
The winner, Harmonica Player of the Year, is none other than Harp Dog Brown. Give it up for Harp Dog Brown. Now, accepting on behalf of Harp Dog Brown is Mark Volkov. Now, Harp Dog Brown couldn't make it, but on his behalf, we have Mark Volkov.
Well, I know Harp Dog would be absolutely thrilled, and he asked me to thank the Toronto Blues Society and the panel for the Maple Blues Awards for selecting him 2 years in a row. And touching on the theme that we had earlier, it's only 30 years since this year. 30 years now Harp Dog's been out there spinning his magic. And now he's an overnight sensation with 2 consecutive awards. And I know he'd also like to thank Cynthia. He didn't text me to say anything about that, but I know he would want to thank his special significant other, Cynthia, who's been a rock in his life, and a lot of good things have happened for him. since he and Cynthia got together. And you know, the dog is known for his harmonica playing, as he should be, and he's wonderful. But to really understand the artistry of this man, you have to appreciate his vocals too. And I would urge all blues aficionados and members of the Toronto Blues Society to really check out his vocals. And he thanks everybody once again. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say that I am so completely honored to be presenting the Keyboard Player of the Year Award. I've attended the Hornby Blues Camp, and I've attended many functions through the Toronto Blues Society, and I've learned a great deal from the practitioners of the 88s who are being honored tonight. So the nominees for Keyboard of the Player tonight are...
Nominees for Piano Keyboard Player of the Year, sponsored by Violet's Venue, are David Vest, Dwayne Blackburn, Jesse O'Brien, Kenny Blues Boss Wayne, Mark Wessinger.
And the winner for Piano Player of the Year is David Vest.
Wow. Thank you so much. When I won this last year, I was unable to be here in person, so I sent a video. And this year, I'm unable to be here in person, so I sent my grandfather. And, I'm another newcomer, overnight sensation. I wasn't born in Canada, but I got here as quick as I heard about it. And they used to ask me down in the States, so how long are you going to stay up there? And I used to say, as long as the flavor lasts. But now I just say, well, why would I go anywhere else? I'm home. I'm finally home. One more thing I want to say is I didn't move to Canada because I needed piano players. The greatest piano players on earth are in Canada, and some of them are sitting right here in this auditorium, past winners, future winners of the Maple Blues Award. All my fellow nominees, I love and respect every one of you, and thank you so much for everybody that had a part in giving me this. Thank you.
The Cobalt Prize Contemporary Blues Composition Award was created by artist Paul Reddick in 2014 with the aim of encouraging songwriters to create new and relevant blues-based songs that refresh and redefine the blues form while attracting new fans to the genre. The winning composition will be chosen based on its ability to creatively utilize blues traditions within the broad contemporary musical landscape. The winner of the inaugural Cobalt Contemporary Blues Composition Award was Digging Roots. Here tonight to reveal who is the winner of the 2015 edition of the Cobalt Prize is its founder, Paul Reddick.
Hello. Fantastic band. I don't have to think what I have to say because it's written down. I wrote it earlier, though. When I thought of this songwriting prize, you know, it was sort of a vague dream. And then to listen to the songs that were submitted was amazing and humbling and a moving experience to that people would write because I asked them to. And it's proven to be a beautiful thing last year and even more beautiful this year. And to ask people to do something great and fearless. It's been an interesting experience and very encouraging. I want to thank a bunch of people. Samantha Martin and Alice Selwood and Brad Wheeler for being on the jury. For a place, yes indeed, they chose the winners. The Toronto Blues Society for supporting this and allowing me to do this here, and which is fantastic. The Unicorn Project, which helped to finance the prize this year, which was incredible. And check them out because they're willing to help a lot of artists support with some money. So it's the Unicorn Project. Also, Jen Eisler, who lives in Regina, who did the administration and took all the submissions into the SoundCloud folder for the jury. And that SoundCloud folder of all the entries really, it represents a glimpse into the possibilities of the growth of blues music and the future of it, I think. It's a lot of young people. It really represents a generational motion in the music, which is fantastic, and God bless them. And also, I'll thank Sarah French, who helped to publicize the prize. Sorry for rhyming. It just comes naturally. And most of all, to thank all the songwriters who submitted their songs and for having the imagination and creativity to move things forward in the beautiful blues landscape. So there is one main winner, but there are also two runner-up winners, and those runner-ups are CECILE DOO-KINGUE, and a guy named Tim Bastmeyer as well. I don't see an envelope or a check. Anybody got a check and an envelope? Why say? Oh, and a certificate too. Thank you, Alice. Wow. Certificate? The winner of the Cobalt Prize this year is Connor Gaines. Hey, buddy.
Thank you very much for this prize. Thank you to Mr. Paul Reddick for opening the floor to Anything Goes. for being an inspiration to me, and I'm sure many people sitting in this room. Yeah, for wearing the same jacket tonight. And yeah, just want to thank my mom for being a shining sunshine in my life and continued inspiration forever. And to this band for killing it all night. Thanks, boys. And to each one of you people in the crowd for being here and supporting blues music. And please keep going.
Our next guest artist spends actually more time performing outside Canada than here at home. Audiences in the United States and Europe appreciate the real deal when they hear it. And it seems Canada is finally starting to recognize this wonderful homegrown talent. He received 5 Maple Blues Award nominations this year, including one for This Is From Here as Recording of the Year. Are you ready for a sweet taste? From Hamilton, please give it up for Harrison Kennedy.
Gotta lose y'all. Come on, boys. Sweet milk cow, milk cow, milk cow. Oh, got the milk cow blues. I left my barn open, and my milk cow done got loose. Likes to roam. I hope the gate is open, she can find her way back home. Milk cow, milk cow. Oh, I got the milk cow blues. I left my barn door open, and my milk cow
The roof is hanging on by a thread. Before I introduce the next awards presenters, it's time to acknowledge the sponsors and funders of the Maple Blues Awards. If you'd have a gander up on the video screen, you're going to see a kaleidoscope of logos representing the generous supporters of this event. Without them, this show would not go on. All right, our next two presenters are ready to go. Eric Bibb, an award-winning musician who makes his home in Sweden, and Steve Strongman is an award-winning musician who makes his home in Hamilton. Take it away, gentlemen.
On that note, I want to ask you, when was the last time acoustic music was as popular as it is now? Well, it's debatable, but I remember the 60s. But before that, it was probably before amplifiers were invented. So we're talking about quite a while ago. I think there's an amazing tribe of fantastic acoustic blues players here in Canada. We just heard one of them, even though he was fronting a band that was pretty amped up. But I've had the pleasure of working with quite a few of the stars of acoustic music, and I wouldn't say just here in Canada. I'm talking about the universe. And it's just a pleasure to be associated with such wonderful musicians. It's great to be here.
Tonight's nominees for the Acoustic Act of the Year, sponsored by Folk Music Ontario, are Big Dave McLean, CECILE DOO-KINGUE, Harrison Kennedy, Michael Jerome Brown, Ross Nielsen.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. It's nice. The award for Acoustic Act of the Year goes to Big Dave McLean.
Totally wasn't prepared for the Acoustic Act of the Year. I thank you so much. It's a pleasure to get recognized for something you dedicate your life to. And I've been playing the little towns in the prairies for a long time, and every once in a while I get to come to the big city. And there's so many people I'd have to thank that have helped me by showing me licks and just giving me advice. John Hammond was the one who first got me started on the blues. And then, of course, the great Muddy Waters, who I got to spend a bit of time with that inspired me so much. And he liked my jokes, so so we got along good. Anyway, there's just too many people to thank. I want to thank Stony Plain Records also, who backed me up for a bunch of years, and now Black Hand Records out of Nashville, Tennessee too. And it's just an honor and a pleasure. And thank you all so much, except for maybe 4 of you, and you know who you are.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much to the Toronto Blues Society for asking me to come out and present an award, especially one that is so amazing like this. The Blues with a Feeling Award was first awarded in 1985, the year the Toronto Blues Society was founded. It's a lifetime achievement award honoring Canadians who've made an enduring contribution to the blues community over the course of their career. Last year's honoree was Nanette Workman. Others who've won this award include Holger Peterson, Rita Shirelli, Matt Minglewood, Jackie Richardson, and Big Dave McLean, to name a few.
Yeah. I've always liked this part of the awards, wherever they are, this lifetime achievement business, because for me, the music thing is not really about the best. It's about committing yourself to a journey that lasts, hopefully a long time, a lifetime, and it's wonderful to be recognized by your peers in that way. So, I'm going to try to read what it says there. I think it's just wonderful that we're going to celebrate somebody who's really paid their dues, and yeah.
And all of these nominees certainly have all paid their dues, and that's one of the wonderful things about blues. It's often it can be an entire lifetime of dedication and enjoyment. So it's my pleasure to say this year's Blues with a Feeling Award.
Sponsored by Dan Aykroyd Wines, the nominees for the Blues with a Feeling Award are Alec Fraser,
Brent Parkin,
Danny Brooks,
Diana Braithwaite,
Ellen McElwain,
Joe Murphy,
Ken Whiteley,
Michael Fonfara,
Michael Jerome Brown,
Stephen Barry,
Teresa Malenfant,
Tom Lavin,
The recipient of this year's Blues with a Feeling Award is Teresa Malenfant. Unfortunately, Teresa was unable to be here with us tonight, but she sent this thank you video.
Hi everyone, thanks for the award. I hope everybody's having a great evening. Wish I could have been there or here, because you're looking at me right here now, but I can't, but I'm going to be there next year if I have to walk. I'm surprised I got this award because I'm such a young person, like I'm still in my 50s. And I'm hoping nobody's trying to give me a hint that, you know, I'm not going to be around that long. Because can you get this one twice? So I want to thank the Maple Blues and the Toronto Blues Society and all the nominating committee that got me here. And of course, first and foremost, my family, fans, and friends for voting for me. And why don't y'all party and have one for me, okay? Night.
Cecile DeKingue's third solo album is titled, here she is, getting ready. Just gonna tune while I talk. Are we good? Her third record is called Anybody Listening Monologues, the first chapter of a trilogy exploring blues, roots, and life. Nominated for 3 awards tonight. Please give a warm welcome to our next guest, performer, Cecile DeKingue.
There's a place on the island where the sun always shines, where the booze is cheap and the eye candy mighty fine, where the cougar is queen and she feeds on lion cubs. Don't look into her eyes when she comes to rub-a-dub, rub-a-dub. Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
So that where you're always welcome.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
And so that where you're always welcome. There's a place on the island where the sun always shines, and the music played transcends all space and time, where the groove is infectious and the dancing never wrong. No matter where you're from, if your body you belong. So welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
So that where you're always welcome.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
So that where you're always welcome. There's a place on the island where the sun always shines, an all-inclusive getaway from your 9 to 5, where they only will want you cause they can't pronounce your name. Dark Asian Latin, jungle loving is the name of the game. So welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
So that where you're always welcome.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
Welcome to the animal kingdom.
So that where you're always welcome. Yeah, welcome. When you're given to the beat, when you're given to the heat, when you finally get a beat, yeah, when you finally get released, you're an animal.
yourself.
Cecile DOO-KINGUE, nicely done. Before we go on, I have to out myself. I'm not actually making all this up. This is all on a teleprompter. And anything of any intelligence that I may have said this evening is entirely the creation of David Bradley, who wrote this evening's script and has been brought to me on these screens before my very eyes by the handiwork of Trish Devine from IntelliPrompt, and she deserves a lot of credit for that. Thank you, Trish. And I know I speak for all the presenters in thanking Trish for putting those words before our eyes. All right, a long-standing musician of note, Danny Marks, is the host of Blues FM on Jazz FM 91. He's the winner of a Blues with a Feeling award from 2006. He was the host of this awards show last year. And you know that I work at CBC and I've written some books and play music when I can, and I drive a beat-up Ford, so that's all you need to know about me. I am co-presenting your next presenters now, Danny Marks and me, Gill Deacon.
Thank you. Thanks, Jill. Great job. It's an easy job, isn't it?
It is. It's a sweet gig.
A sweet gig, not a lot of stress involved, and this funny little mirrored glass in front of us. Not much time to tell you one thing that I think is really great to say, and that is that here we are all together in this room, the blues community, and then after today, we take it to the world, and we share with the world the music that we love. And one other thing I'd like to say is a second-generation hometown Torontonian, and that is so many people talk about being here. Eric Bibb, wow, love seeing him in Toronto. A lot of people that move here, people that come here, we want you to know it's a crowded city, it's a big city. We may be the biggest city in Canada, in fact we are, but we still got room for more, and you're all welcome. Everybody's welcome in Toronto. This is something I wanted to say. I did go for it, and it's done. The 5 artists nominated tonight for Female Vocalist of the Year are each powerful singers. That power is comprised of depth, dynamics, and determination. I love all those D's in there. They know that singing the blues is about the feeling inside and getting that out, and all the nominees are as good as it gets when it comes to singing in this country or any other.
The nominees for Female Vocalist of the Year, sponsored by Dog FM, are Angel Forrest, Cecile DOO-KINGUE, Cheryl Lescombe, Samantha Martin, Shakura Saida,
There's one other thing I'd like to, I just want to try saying the name Cecile DOO-KINGUE, Shakura Saida, Samantha, Cheryl. Great singers all. Wish we could award them all. But the winner of the Maple Blues Award for Female Vocalist of the Year, and this is a pleasure to say her name, she is what her name is, Angel Forrest.
honestly did not. I was more nervous tonight about doing this presenting thing tonight. I was stressed about it all night, and then it happened right away. It was good. I really didn't think it was going to happen, so I didn't plan anything. And if you know me, it's not a good thing, because I'm going to be quick, though. I'm not going to talk too fast, but I'm going to say, number one, I'm so very honored and thrilled to be in this category with those women, veterans, and the newcomers that are fabulous. That's why I didn't think it was going to happen again this year. And I'd like to thank, obviously, the Blues Society, Toronto, Montreal, out west, Brian Slack, Mark Draniff, who got me in this thing, my husband, my partner, love of my life, who I write with and do everything with. I love you, thank you. My mom. And I have to say that the most, it's voters, right? So thank you all voters, obviously. But you don't vote if you don't know what there's a list of people, and if you haven't seen them or heard them, you abstain, and that sucks. Abstaining sucks, you can't do that. So you gotta get out there and see as much music as you can, and I like to thank the promoters and the producers of all the shows, and obviously the MBAs, because the last 2 years I have walked away with this, and it's opened so many doors for me, and I wasn't kidding when I said that to the new artists. They hear your name, they go out and they listen to your music thanks to listening to it on the radio, on the TV. I listen to music a lot on the TV, because they have that station on the TV, plays the blues, it's amazing. Thanks to them, we know who we are. Come out and see, listen, experience a live show, then you can vote, and if you keep voting like this, I'm so happy. Thank you so much, everybody. Wow.
So, trying to figure out what it is to be a blues singer, I think it's safe to say, if it feels like it's coming from the heart, that is the place to start. The 5 nominees in the category of male vocalist couldn't be more different, and yet somehow they all end up in the same place, each with their own slightly different shade of blue.
Sponsored by Music by the Bay Live, this year's Male Vocalist of the Year nominees are Harrison Kennedy, John Mays, John Knight, Kirby Soul, Matt Andersen,
All right. And the Maple Blues Award for Male Vocalist of the Year goes to Matt Andersen. Unfortunately, Matt was unable to be with us tonight in person, but he did send a thank you video.
Hey, Maple Blues people. Thanks so much for the award for Male Vocalist of the Year. It's a real honor. It's always so great to be part of that. I wish I could be there this weekend, spending some time with everybody, but I'm on the road this spring. We'll catch you then, and have a great weekend. I know you are.
This one's from Matt Andersen.
Thanks.
I still have work to do here. All right. No rest for the wicked. Before we present the final awards of the night, it's time to acknowledge the production team responsible for the Maple Blues Awards. The credits are going to appear on screen, and please do take a moment to read these names and have a little moment of appreciation, because without all of these very hardworking people, this show would not go on. Thank you indeed to all of those people. Julia Train is the Senior Manager of Communications and Outreach for the Musicians' Rights Organization Canada. Mark Watts is the Program Consultant of the Ontario Music Office through the Ontario Media Development Corporation. Please welcome Julia and Mark.
Julia, nice to see you again.
Nice seeing you too, Mark.
What a fantastic evening it has been tonight so far.
Well, there's no better way to beat the Monday Blues with some awesome blues. Now, was 2015 an outstanding year for Canadian blues recordings? Judging by the variety of styles represented, the quality of the performances, and the high production values I've heard, I'd say it was. What do you think, Mark?
It was a great year for Canadian blues recordings. The nominee list has new and well-known names on it, and all regions of Canada are well represented. Like you said, Julia, there was lots of variety to be had in 2015.
Tonight's nominees for Recording and Producer of the Year, sponsored by Stony Plain Records, are Faded But Not Gone by Big Dave McLean, Black Hen Records, produced by Steve Dawson.
Rich in Love by COLIN LINDEN. Stony Plain Records. Produced by COLIN LINDEN, Johnny Diamond, and Gary Craig.
This Is From Here by Harrison Kennedy. Electrify Records, produced by Harrison Kennedy and Jesse O'Brien.
Chin Up by John CAMPBELLJOHN. Nude Records. Produced by John CAMPBELLJOHN.
Send the Nightingale by Samantha Martin and Delta Sugar. Produced by Wrench.
All right. The Maple Blues Award for Recording and Producer of the Year is COLIN LINDEN. Rich in Love, producers COLIN LINDEN, John Diamond, and Gary Craig.
Thank you so very much, everybody. This record is a reflection of some of the closest and most precious relationships in all of our lives. One of them being a 40-year friendship with Holger Peterson from Stony Plain Records, who released our first studio album that Gary played on 30 years ago. And when we figured we would make another record, we didn't even talk to anybody else, just wanted Holger to do it if he was into. So thank you, Holger, for that. And it's a reflection of the great love I have for Janice Powers, who's here tonight. And it's a reflection of the great love I have for Gary Craig and Johnny Diamond, who did this record. And we've played together for 32 years and 26 years. And the greatest musician any of us knew, Richard Bell, who was with us for 18 years. So you guys say something.
Colin couldn't have said it any better. Thanks to Colin and Janice Powers and everybody here. And a shout out to Jerome Godbout and the band. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the Maple Blues Society.
I think we are getting down to it, Julia.
I think so. This is it.
When blues musicians discovered amplification in the 1940s, it changed the way music was heard. Suddenly, it could be heard above the din of a crowded tavern on a Saturday night. The ability to inject dynamics into a performance using volume became possible.
Over 70 years, the rules haven't changed. Playing louder does not mean it's better. In the blues genre, what distinguishes great performances is the art of dynamics. Tonight's nominees for Electric Act of the Year are studied practitioners of this art form.
Sponsored by Cordova Bay Entertainment, the nominees for Electric Act of the Year are the 24th Street Wailers, Anthony Gomes, David GOGO, Monkey Jump, Steve Hill,
And the winner of the Maple Blues Award, Electric Act of the Year, goes to Steve Hill.
Thank you so much. It's quite an honor. I'm a fan of everybody that's nominated tonight. I got the best job in the world. I get to travel from coast to coast. I get to play for people that love music. I get to work with people that love music. I mean, it's fair to say that everybody that does a living out of playing blues or promoting blues doesn't do it for the money. We do it because we love music. I want to thank all the fans, all the volunteers, Thomas Edison, Tesla, and all of you. Now, let's have a drink. I love you. Thank you.
All right, well, our time is drawing nigh in here, but as I mentioned earlier, in just a moment, Big Dave McLean and the Sinners Choir are going to be getting things started in the lobby, but not before we hear from our final guest performer of the evening. I'm going to tell you a little bit about John CAMPBELLJOHN. He makes his home in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. He is known for a very unique approach to playing slide guitar. He's spending more time each year touring all around Europe than playing across Canada. So you're lucky to be getting to see him here tonight. On the strength of his latest release, nominated for Recording of the Year tonight, I hope a lot more Canadians are going to have the chance to experience seeing what you're about to see, seeing John perform in 2016. And joining him to send us off in fine style, Samantha Martin and Delta Sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And closing this year's edition of the Maple Blues Awards, let's hear it for John CAMPBELLJOHN.
Show me the money trail. Where does it go? Wait a minute, never mind, we already know. An ancient story from the earliest days. The rich get richer and the poor man pays. For the crumbs that fall from the laps into the gutter, with sleight of the hand and power plays, the rich get richer and the poor man pays.
Let's all drink.
lives going to their graves. Why do we still have kings today when the rich get richer and the poor man pays? All right. The rich get richer and the poor man pays.
John CAMPBELLJOHN, ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Martin and Delta Sugar.